Medyo nakakatawa yung sitwasyon sa binasa natin ngayon sa ating first reading. Nakulong daw ang mga disciples because they were accused of causing public disturbance. Pero noong gabi, they were released from the prison by an angel, and the guards were not even aware of it. Kaya, nung pinatawag sila for the trial in the court, ang tawag ay Sanhedrin, the prison guards could not produce them. And the court officers reported na yung selda kung saan sila nakakulong ay walang laman. And yet the guards were outside at yung mga doors of the jail were locked. So, hanap, and where would they find them? Right in the temple area, just a few meters away from the building of the Sanhedrin court. And they were out in the open, preaching. They did not even attempt to run away. Hindi sila nagtago. At nung arestuhin silang muli, they did not even resist. Talagang kakaiba na sila after their Easter experience. These Galilean fishermen who formerly were so fearful had become so fearless. Mula nung sandaling lumabas sila mula dun sa upper room, at dati nagtatago sila, they were hiding like wounded dogs, traumatized. From then on, parang yung change, they had totally changed. They were no longer the type who could be intimidated by the threats of authorities. Kahit takutin pa sila. Pero hindi naman sila going around like aggressive types or like violent rebels. They are meek as lambs. They are like meek lambs that the authorities did not know what to do with. Paano ba ikukulong mo yan eh? Nakakalabas sila sa kulungan. Kahit nakakandado yung kulungan. So nagbaliktad yung sitwasyon. They're supposed to be the ones under trial by the authorities. But their roles had reversed. It's like the authorities are now the ones under trial. And they don't even need to be condemned. Their stubborn refusal to believe has already condemned them, as Jesus put it in our gospel reading today. They have condemned themselves for having condemned an innocent man. At yun ang sinasabi ng Gospel of John at the last part of the gospel that we read today. This is the verdict. Kaya sinasabi ko, parang baliktad eh. He is the one pronouncing a verdict. This is the verdict. The light came into the world. Dumating ang liwanag sa daigdig. Pero mas pinipili ng mga tao ang dilim kesa sa liwanag. Because their works were evil, ang sabi niya. John seems to be emphasizing the ironic situation in which the ones who are being pursued are out in the open, in the full view of the people, while the ones who are pursuing them, sila yung nagtatago. They are the ones who are, plotting their wicked, conspiratorial plans secretly. Kaya ang sabi ng gospel, For everyone who does wicked things hates the lights. Ang mga alagad ng kadiliman galit sa liwanag dahil takot sila na ma-expose yung kagagawan nila. Tama lang, di ba? It makes a lot of sense. Siyempre, hindi ba ang magnanakaw, kapag papasukin niya yung isang bahay, mag-i-inspeksyon muna yan sa paligid. Sisiguraduhin niyang walang CCTV o walang street lamp na maliwanag. Siyempre, he would rather do his wicked deed in the dark so as not to get caught. Ganyan din naman dito sa atin nung kasagsagan ng extrajudicial killings sa ating kapaligiran before the pandemic began, di ba? Kapag yung mga pamilya ng biktima tumakbo na sa mga barangay authorities at humihiling na i-review yung CCTV footages, at syempre, may CCTV, o di may footages. Pag humiling sila na i-review yung CCTV, ang karaniwang sagot ay, sorry, hindi umuubra yung CCTV. Ay nako, maraming partners in crime. There were many partners in the crimes that were committed during those years of non-stop killing. Not only do they hate CCTVs and street lamps, they also hate the independent media people who are objectively investigating, who are asking questions, and who are publishing the reports. At syempre, ayaw nilang lumabas ang katotohanan. Magiging kalaban ang nagsasabi ng katotohanan. Why would they want their evil deeds to be exposed to the public? They would prefer to stick to their ready-made templates with their made-up narratives. And of course, they insist, they're just doing their jobs by keeping the community crime-free, kuno. As if killing were not a crime. The same thing applies. Ganyan-ganyan din. Ang madilim na gawain ng mga trolls, mga agents of social media, disinformation. Di ba? It is very hard to track them down. Buksan mo yung Facebook profile nila. You don't get much information. Dahil marami sa kanila, fake accounts. Ay, nako. Ang kabuktutan, evil, thrives in secrecy. But here is the good news. The gospel says it in the final line, whoever lives the truth comes to the light, so that their works may be clearly seen as done in God. They do not mind submitting their sal ends. They do not mind getting their projects audited. They are open books and they do not feel threatened by people who ask questions or who demand accountability. Bakit? They have nothing to hide. You see why I've told you on many occasions that the empty tomb, yung libingang walang laman, was not really the evidence to the resurrection because it does not prove anything. People could claim that the cadaver had been stolen. Kahit nga yung mga alagad, yun ang akala nila nung una, na ninakaw yung bangkay, kaya walang laman yung libingan. They were not thinking of resurrection themselves. So anong ebidensya? The best evidence to the resurrection were the disciples themselves. The total change that happened to them from their old fearful selves, from their old insecure selves. Sabi ko nga, they became bold and fearless. They came out of hiding and faced even arrest and even martyrdom. They were no longer afraid to speak the truth. Bakit ka matatakot sa katotohanan? They themselves became the best evidence to the resurrected Christ, to Christ come alive and at work in them and through them. They fulfilled what Jesus had earlier told them in Matthew chapter 10, verse 27. What I say to you in the darkness, speak in the light. What you hear whispered, proclaim from the housetops.